So as with all of our tutorials or all of our projects, I'm going to start with a horizon line. I'm putting this one near the top so that my objects will be below it. So we've already done some cubes in 2-point perspective. Now we're going to look at some other geometric shapes. Again, I'm going to have my 2 vanishing points. My vanishing points are always on the horizon. Not above, not below, on the horizon for what we're doing. And then let's talk about a different object, a different shape. So I'm going to come in with let's make a pyramid. So a pyramid, I'm going to start out by making the base. I'm going to make this a little bit darker. Alright, so I have my base of my pyramid there. It's this square right there. Now to figure out where the point should be, I want to make sure the point's not too far to this side or too far to this side, but right in the middle of my base. So to find the middle, I'm going to make an X that goes across. Make another line right here. My daughter is upstairs singing, so if you hear some muffled singing, that's what that is. Alright, so I have the very middle of my pyramid here. I'll make a line that goes straight up from that. I need this to go straight up and down. Make sure that it's not like this, not like that. Straight up. And then I can pick a point on this. So I made this is the apex of my pyramid. And the line here. Alright, so I have a lot of lines here, so I'm going to go ahead and make the lines of my actual pyramid that I'm going to keep. I'm going to make those darker. And that's my pyramid. So another shape that I want to talk to you about is we're going to make a cylinder. So another shape I want to talk to you about is a cylinder. So for that, I'm going to come down here. So this is going to be a square that represents the top of my cylinder. So I kind of have like this is my square, and I'm going to go ahead and freehand this to make my cylinder. This isn't perfect. There we go. So that's the top of my cylinder. So something that I find when we're making cylinders is people tend to have, like, this is a lot of times when we're making like a cup or something like that. And I'll have people make a cup that looks something like this. That this is the top of the cup. You have the sides that come down, and then this is the bottom with a handle. The biggest thing that we mess up is this bottom arc here and how much it should arc. So I'm going to go ahead and bring some lines straight down. For my cylinder here. And then how am I going to address this bottom? Well, one way to do it is to go ahead and make your base of your cube. So I have my base of my cube here, and I know and this is going to come up there, this is going to come up here. This will give me another circle here. You'll notice that the circle on the top is more of an oval than the circle on the bottom. The circle on the bottom is more rounded. So this bottom edge here is going to be more rounded than that circle at the top. And that's my cylinder. It really can be best to make the full cube first, and then you get the circle at the top and the circle at the bottom. Even though this we might end up erasing away. I'm going to leave it, but that we would end up erasing away most likely. Another way of doing a cylinder would be, it's very similar, starting with the top. Starting with my top of the cylinder and making the cylinder on the outside of this, making my oval hit these points on the outside. As it crosses those corners, it should be going straight across. And then I can bring those lines straight down. And my bottom is going to work the same way. If I brought this straight down, that tells me where to cross that line. And there's my cylinder. Alright, so if we were going to make a cone, we would do the same thing as starting with the base of a pyramid. Here we're going to start at the base of the cylinder. I'm going to use this one because it's already here. I make this X that goes through the middle to find that center point. Bring a line that comes straight up. And that gives me a spot for my cone to come to. So now I have a cone on top of a cylinder. All right, so what the best thing to do is, as much as you can, these are some of our most basic shapes: the cone, the cylinder, the pyramid, the cube. You want to practice these shapes until you're comfortable making them. And the reason for that, the reason you don't want to move on too quickly to a bigger next step, is that this is kind of like, it's like building blocks. They look like building blocks, but we're kind of taking this skill and building it and building it and building it. Before you use these to do more advanced drawing, you want to be fairly confident in how you can use these. So the best thing to do right now is practice your cube, which we saw in the other video, practice your cylinder, practice your pyramid, and your cone.